Hello and welcome to the Stars and Pars podcast with your host, Evan Ingle. This is the show where golf betting meets astrology. And if you are listening for the first time, I'm dead serious about my process. I literally break down players' birth charts every week, compare it to the transits currently in the sky, especially over the 4 days of the tournament, and I compare who I think is got the biggest career breakthrough potential, etc. Kind of thought process like that. So I don't really go off any statistical data, stats. I just I watch every week. I love watching the tournaments, so I'm very paying attention to who's trending every week, who's playing well, who's not. But the whole theory about astrology and golf is that anybody can win on any given week. And, I always mention the Nick Dunlap theory when he won the Amex a few years back. As an amateur, nobody would have ever thought he would have won, but astrologically, he had a massive career week that week. And that's kind of been one of the, hypotheses, I guess, that I've been following all this time. And I've lost count on how many winners I've had, and I'm not saying every week's a great week, but overall we do pretty well. So if you're new here, welcome. If you are an avid listener, welcome back. I appreciate you guys. Before I get into last week and to this week, just want to just say, like, not that my YouTube or anything's growing, but it's steadily been growing every week. I mean, I started the YouTube 4 weeks ago, and up to like 29 subscribers as of now, which obviously isn't a lot, but it's just it's cool. Every week I'm gaining more and more. I'm on TikTok now, stars.and.pars.po, I think is the official name, but just search Stars and Pars. You should find me there if you want. And then I'm on YouTube, like I said. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. I'm also on Spotify. If you leave me a 5-star rating on Spotify, that really, really helps me out there. I'm really, appreciative of anybody who already has done that. And if you get something out of the show and you enjoy it, please give me a 5-star rating there. Subscribe, like, whatever. Hate that I'm becoming one of those like, share, subscribe people, but in this day and age, it's the name of the game. So I appreciate you all. Thank you for listening. So let's dive in to last week. Let's recap everything real quick. A bit of a disappointing week, I'll say that, because if we don't hit a winner, it's a disappointing week in my opinion. We did hit some placement bets. That's fine. I'll go over that in a second. But despite not getting an outright, I mean, we went 2 weeks in a row. I mean, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we got Nelly Korda and Justin Rose in the same weekend. Awesome. And then last week, or the WM Phoenix, we got Chris Goddard. Awesome. And then this past weekend, we got close. We got really close with Tommy and Sepp Straka, but Colin Morikawa ultimately ended up winning, who we were big on the previous week at the WM Phoenix, because I thought Colin was going to have a big week, but turns out we were just 1 week too early. So that being said, as bummed as I may have been, I'm missing out on Colin, especially. Every winner from this past week just astrologically just proved so true again. Like, this is, so while I as a human made the wrong decision on who to take, the astrology still proved true, makes sense. I'll break it down in a second, but I was like really encouraged by that, because it's like, dude, I'm really convinced I'm on a really good process every week of finding the winners or who's going to play really well. Obviously it's hard to hit it every week. I mean, dude, some people don't even get a winner in the whole PGA season as a better, so we've already gotten 3 this year. We're only a month into the season. I'm not worried about, any of that. It's cool to still see the astrology always prove right, even if I was technically, I don't know, not wrong, but like I just overlooked the Colin, for instance, who, like, the only reason why I really did not take Colin last week, despite him being one of my first gut instincts. Always go with your gut, people. Always go with your gut. I have the clip of him at the WM, like, duffing that chip. Like literally, I'm like a 13 handicap. Like that's something I would do. Or, what I'm saying? Like, and not even like all the time. But like, I just saw that clip of him duffing the chip on the WM. And I was just like, dear God, Colin, you got some work to do. But turns out 1 week's all he needed to figure that out. So, all right. All that being said, let's get into last week real quick. Last week was a Sag to Capricorn to finish with a double Aquarius placement in the sky, which Colin is double Aquarius. I feel like an idiot for overlooking that, but yeah. So let's dive into where we got a winner at least. Okay, on Live, Anthony Kim won. I'm going to talk about him in a second. I'm going to break all these guys' charts down, but what we got, we had top 5 Tyrrell Hatton at plus 255. Thank God we got that. We also got Sebastian Munoz top 10 at plus 184, and we also got Lucas Herbert at plus 210 to finish in the top 10. So those 3 were nice, and then we also got a top 20 Caleb Surratt, only at plus 100, but hey, a W is a W, you take it. And then we also got top Great Britain / Ireland Tyrrell Hatton at plus 205. I knew Tyrrell was going to pull through, and he kind of had a surge on the last day, but ultimately fell short. So at least we got a little something there. It wasn't a complete loss on Live, but it wasn't great either. And then on Pebble Beach, we missed out. On the Champions Tour, we also missed out. And then was there a 4th tournament? 1, 2. No, I think it was just those 3. Yeah, but we did get Jake Knapp, top 10 plus 270. He's been killing it. We're going to probably be back on him again this week. And then we also got Sepp Straka at plus 160 in the top 20, who eagled the last hole and could have sent it to a playoff if Colin, just had one more mistake, but it's all good. And then we also got top 30, both of our guys, Max McGreevy at plus 175 and Tom Hoagie at plus 255. So it wasn't a complete loss. And then we also got top continental European, Sepp Straka at plus 395. So, wasn't a complete loss. Overall, was a loss, but at least we didn't go home empty-handed. I also had a double chance Tommy or Straka at plus 1900. That almost hit. They both were right there at the very end. So, it is what it is. But I was still encouraged to see some of our guys, pull through. But real quick, let's talk about Colin and all the other winners. Okay, Colin Morikawa, Anthony Kim won Live. If you haven't heard, that was awesome. David Toms ended up winning the Champions Tour. I didn't even look at him. I think his number was way too high. We'll go over that in a second. And then I didn't even talk at all about it was like the Ladies European Tour last week. There weren't even numbers or betting odds. I didn't even bet on it, but I did notice Charlie Hull won, and her chart makes a ton of sense. But anyway, first off, Colin Morikawa, okay? Go with your gut, people. When I thought of last weekend, like thinking about, who I think could see winning under a double Aquarius. Well, the first thought I had was like, well, the only guy I know that's double Aquarius is Colin Morikawa, because he's an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Jupiter. And I just, like I said, replayed that clip in my head of him duffing that chip at the WM Phoenix, and really he never did anything at the WM. Like he made the cut, but he like barely made the cut, and it was just kind of whatever. I was like, man, he's got work to do. So I overlooked him, but my gut said he's the guy. He's the one guy with the signs, and I just ignored it. So that's the human side of betting, despite having, quote unquote, the answers astrologically, even though there really is never the answer. But anyway, so he's got all that Aquarius in his chart. He's a Gemini rising. He's a Pisces midheaven. I think that's what threw me off. He's a Capricorn Mercury, which was the moon visited Capricorn during the tournament, and he was a Libra Mars, and there's a lot of air in the sky to go with that Libra. The Pisces midheaven is what threw me off, because Pisces, Aquarius is their 12th house, which is like a sleepy house, mystical house, kind of like reflective house. So I wasn't like thinking, oh, he's going to be like motivated. But with the Venus and Mercury both in Pisces last weekend, and it still is there, I think that's where his Pisces midheaven kind of fed off of. So it's just another learning lesson for me to like stop overthinking certain things. And like when you think you have it, just go with it. So good for him. And, also the timing of him winning and him and his wife announcing they're having a child, like astrologically, it just makes a ton of sense. So bravo to him. Cool to see him win. I think his first win since 23. So, maybe he's got some more in the tank later this year. I don't think he's got anything going this week. I'm not on him this week, but going forward, we're gonna have to keep an eye on Colin. So, And then Anthony Kim winning on Live was the last thing I thought. I mean, I've seen him trending. I've seen him playing better. But, like, again, like, he had to beat Rahm and DeChambeau and Hatton and all those, you know. So I was just like, I just don't see it yet. But until he had a breakthrough win like he had, now we know, okay, Anthony Kim might be legit going forward. So he's a Gemini sun in midheaven, which vibed perfectly with the Aquarius stuff. And also the Venus and Mercury in Pisces lights up the Gemini, placements in his chart right up for his career. He's Cancer moon, Mercury and Mars. And that's vibes perfectly with all the water, the Venus Pisces, the Mercury Pisces in the sky. Virgo rising, that helped with the Capricorn moon that came in. It's also Earth. Makes a ton of sense. And then here's where it really makes sense is Venus is Taurus. Taurus was like the main sign I was after last week with that double Aquarius coming in. Aquarius lights up Taurus's career sector. These are like the houses that I target mainly every week. It's still proved to be true. And then the cherry on top is Jupiter's Aquarius. Jupiter's like the planet of luck and opportunity, growth, expansion, big ideas. And with that double Aquarius placement on the last day they played, it just makes so much sense that his Jupiter was lit up. And man, he sunk a ton of putts down the stretch. So bravo to him. The stars literally aligned for him, and I did not even bother to look at his chart because, you know, that was just, I don't know. I just didn't think he had a chance. But proves again that anybody can win on any given week. And that's why astrology explains a lot of this. This is why I use astrology as my main method to make picks, okay? And then real quick, David Toms won Champions Tour. I was not on him, but makes a ton of sense. They played Friday to Sunday, so they missed out on the first Thursday transit day that we talked about. But he's a Capricorn sun, Mercury, Venus, and midheaven. That's where the moon was for the first 2 days of their tournament. Makes a ton of sense. Cancer rising, Pisces, Mercury, and Mars. Pisces in the sky, makes sense. Taurus, Venus, just like Anthony Kim, makes sense. Capricorn, Jupiter makes a ton of sense. So, I'm sorry. I was reading Charlie Hull's chart. Sorry for the last part of it. David Toms, all the Capricorn stuff is true. Sun, Mercury, Venus, midheaven. He's a Libra, Moon, and Mars. That's air. It vibes perfectly with Aquarius. That makes a ton of sense. Aries rising. Aries was also one of the career sectors, signs we were after, because Capricorn lights up Aries as a placement that lights up their career sector. And he's also a Capricorn everything. And then his Jupiter's Leo. So it's just, you know, opposite Aquarius. That kind of makes a lot of sense. So good for him. And then Charlie Hull won the Ladies European Tour. Now, they were done on Thursday or Friday, so they didn't get to see the Aquarius that came in. It was just Capricorn. Well, like I said, Aries is lit up career-wise by Capricorn, and she's an Aries sun, moon, and midheaven. It just makes so much sense. Cancer rising, which vibed with the water. Pisces, Mercury, and Mars. That's vibes with the Pisces in the sky right now. Taurus, Venus is what is exactly like Anthony Kim. And that lights up, the Aquarius the Aquarius sun lights up her Taurus, Venus, and the Capricorn, Jupiter. Excuse me. So, all four winners, they make total sense every week. It's just kind of the same story, but unfortunately, we just were not on any of them. But, you know, the process remains true, and that's what I'm encouraged about, okay? Finally, 14 minutes into this. We're getting into this week. Apologies. So let's dive in. This week, it's our first tournament under the Pisces sun. We are now in Pisces. I shifted my little thing around. You can't really see it, but the double fish, that's Pisces. We're right here now. Aries is up next, but just wanted to do that. It's still not, this guy should be turned around, but I like kind of the idea of flipping it around as, you know, wherever we're at in the season. So, the sun now also joins Mercury and Venus, which are also in Pisces, and they trine with Jupiter and Cancer. And Cancer stays in Jupiter for like a year. It's been like halfway through it right now. So there's a lot of water in the sky is what I'm trying to say. This is big time going forward, at least for the next month. Mars is still in Aquarius until March 2nd. So this whole next week or two, we're still going to have an Aquarius placement in the sky, and Mars is very important. I talk about Mars all the time. Mars is like planet of physicality and action and drive, motivation, and it's a big correlation with players and their swings. I've kind of come to a conclusion on. So that's just something to pay attention to. Regardless, it's still an Aquarius placement out there. So Taurus has still received that boost from the Aquarius. And also the month long, every month when the sun shifts, there's a new career sign that we're targeting the whole month. Pisces lights up Gemini's career sector. So Geminis for the next month are gonna be lit. They're gonna be and real quick, last month it was Taurus, right? Because Aquarius lights up Taurus. Every winter, I'm pretty certain. Every winter last month has some sort of Taurus in their chart. It's just it's I don't know how to explain it. It's just the way astrology works. It's the 10th house. It's career house. That's what I target. So this month going forward, Gemini's, Scotty Scheffler, are going to have big months. Okay, so we'll get to that in a second. But basically, let's talk about the moon, because the moon is the closest planetary body to us, and it shifts every 2.5 days into a new sign, and it's really important into every week who wins, in a sense. So the moon is going to be in Pisces, where I'm talking for the PGA right now, because the LPGA and the DP World Tour start on Wednesday. But, well, I guess let's start there. So Wednesday, LPGA and DP World Tour start tomorrow, Wednesday. It's going to be a Pisces sun and moon. Okay, the sun goes into Pisces technically tomorrow morning or during the day or something, but the moon's also already there. It's there today. So that being said, Wednesday, it's double Pisces, right? With all the Venus and Mercury Pisces, a lot of Pisces. And then Thursday, when our PGA tournament starts, I'm not exactly sure what time, but I'm sure they're going to start, 7, 8, 9 a.m., something like that. It's still going to be in Pisces, but until 11:39 a.m. Pacific time, because we're on the West Coast this week, it's going to shift into Aries. So let's just say like mid-round one or like earlier round one, depending on when guys go out. I don't know how they're going to do it. There's only 70-something players, right? Halfway through the round, Aries will hit, okay? And that's important. And it's going to stay there the rest of Thursday, and it's going to stay there all day Friday. Big time, okay? And then on Saturday at 3:31 p.m. Pacific time, like afternoon, I'm sure the leaders will be near the end of their round, halfway through their round, probably near the end of their round. It's going to hit Taurus, okay? And it's going to stay in Taurus the rest of the Saturday and then all day Sunday for our finish. So it's going to be a Pisces sun, Taurus moon finish with the Mercury and Venus in Pisces and Mars in Aquarius and Jupiter in Cancer, okay? So all that being said, this is a big week for Geminis because really all month long, right? I just talked about that. Pisces lights up Gemini's career sector. But Cancers also are going to have a big week, especially because it's water season and Cancer is also water, so it vibes really well with fellow Pisces water. But the Aries moon lights up Cancer's career sector. That's usually what I go after, right? When I do the show. So Cancers, Aries also, because Aries get their own moon. So that's a big time look. And then Leos. Leos might be the main play of the week because that's where the moon's going to be in their career sector, Taurus, Saturday afternoon and then all day Sunday. So Leos get a big career boost. And also Leos thrive off of fellow Aries fire, okay? So that's something to consider. But also Tauruses, because when Taurus gets their moon, it's like their first house, which is like a house of confidence and drive and just like belief, self-belief. So Tauruses are also on there. So Pisces, Gemini, Cancer, Aries, Leo, Taurus. That's like 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's like half the signs. But if I had to narrow it down, I'd say Cancer, Aries, Leo, Taurus, and Gemini. Pisces all month do get a boost. Obviously, it's their birth month. They got a ton of stuff in the sky. But it's kind of like the best combination of any of those 5 or 6 signs is kind of like how I do this every week, okay? So I'm going to start with the LPGA. We're going to start with, I'm just going to go out of order because I want to. Okay, so let's start with the LPGA. They start Wednesday under the Pisces moon, and they're going to finish Saturday when I think by the time they finish they have their last round on Saturday, the Taurus moon will be in play. So really all of our transits still kind of make sense and play, you know, it's the same idea. So let's get into it. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 girls. Which I don't love to have that many, but I don't know. I didn't, you know, I don't spend much time on any other tournament besides the PGA, but I still like who I have here. Lydia Ko, plus 1475. Taurus, Sun, Mercury, Venus in midheaven. Scorpio moon, Leo rising, Virgo, Mars, Aquarius, Jupiter. She's got water, the Scorpio. She's got the Taurus, which is where the tournament will be finishing it up. And she's got the Leo rising, which is the fire that will vibe with the Aries for most of the tournament. She's probably the best golfer in the field. Obviously, Gino Thickle is like the high favorite. I don't want any part of her this weekend. I just don't love her chart as much as I like these other girls. So I'm going to start off with Lydia Ko for plus 1475. Next is Aki Iwai. This girl is dangerous. Watch out for her. She's always on leaderboards, like always. She's plus 1750. Cancer, Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and midheaven. Lit up career-wise by the Aries moon this week, okay? Taurus moon. She's got the Taurus. She's got a Libra rising, Gemini, Mercury. So she's got some Gemini in there. And a Leo, Venus, which will be lit up by that Taurus on the weekend. Big time. And also, just because... So she's got a twin. She's got Chisato Iwai, right? Her and they have the same exact chart. Very similar to how like Nikolai and Rasmus Højgaard have the same charts. And I always say, if you kind of take one, you kind of have to take the other because you can't really predict who's going to play better. So, you know, if you take Aki, you kind of have to take Chisato as well. Chisato is plus 3,600, okay? So both of the EY sisters. I also like Heiran Ryu at plus 2,400. Aries, Sun, and Venus, Pisces, Moon, Mercury, Rising, Sagittarius, Mars, Midheaven, Gemini, Jupiter. The Sag stuff is a little worrying because Sag and Pisces don't get along too well, but Sag is a fellow fire sign. She's got a lot of Aries in her chart, and she's got Pisces to kind of combat that confliction. So Heiran Ryu should definitely have a solid week. This next girl, I think I really like. Austin Kim, plus 3,800. Leo, Sun, Mercury, and Mars, huge. Pisces moon, great. Cancer rising, Aries midheaven. That's 4 of the 6 signs we're after. Virgo Venus, and then Gemini Jupiter. There's the 5th one, okay? That's a great chart, especially the Virgo Venus is a fellow earth sign. When the Taurus comes in, that should vibe excellently. But she's got everything else in her chart to get through the first day or 2 or 3 days, okay? Really like Austin Kim. I also like Lynn Grant, not as much, but I like Lynn Grant, plus 4,000. Gemini, Sun, and Midheaven, so it's her career month. Virgo, Moon, and Rising. Cancer, Mercury, she's got some Cancer. She's got Leo, Venus, that's huge. I think that's why I decided to go with her, is that Leo, Venus. Libra, Mars, Aries, Jupiter. Lynn Grant sneaks W's a lot of the time, so watch out for Lynn Grant. 3 more. Andrea Lee, plus 4,800. Leo, Sun, Mercury, and Venus. Gemini, Moon, and Midheaven. 2 of the career signs we're after this week. Virgo rising, she's got some Earth. Cancer, Mars, Jupiter, Pisces. Again, solid freaking chart. Andrea Lee, watch out. 2 more. Jennifer Kupcho, plus 5,600. Taurus, Sun, Mercury, Midheaven. Leo, Moon, and Rising. Gemini, Venus, Virgo, Mars, Aquarius, Jupiter. She got the Taurus, Leo, Gemini combo with some Virgo in there. It's looking great, okay? She doesn't have any water in her sign, in her chart. That's the only thing I'm like, ugh. But she does have the Gemini, Venus, and that's lit up career-wise by the Pisces. So we'll see. Okay, and last girl, Jin Hee Im, plus 8,600. Gemini, Sun, and Rising, Taurus, Moon, Mercury, Mars, Aries, Venus, Aquarius, Midheaven, Jupiter, Pisces. Everything in this is great, except the Aquarius midheaven, which will get conflicted with a Taurus moon on the last day. But because she's a Taurus moon, Mercury, Mars, I think it'll be it'll override it. Also, there is still 1 Aquarius placement in the sky right now, Mars in Aquarius, so maybe her Aquarius midheaven kind of finds a vibe off of that. So we'll see. All right. So Jin Hee Im, Kupcho, Andrea Lee, Lynn Grant, Austin Kim, both EY sisters, Heiran Ryu, and Lydia Ko. Those are my plays. Top 5, I'm going to go Aki EY, plus 300. She is just killer. She's just always on leaderboards. Watch out for Aki. Top 10 is Austin Kim, plus 240. I hate saying it, but that might be the lock of the week. for the LPGA at least. Okay, so watch out for that. And then first round leader, I just didn't really go crazy on these, but I like Andrea Lee plus 4,500 because she's got all that Gemini. Remember, it's going to be double Pisces on the first day, Wednesday, for the girls. So Andrea Lee's got a lot of Gemini in her chart, and she's a Cancer Mars and a Jupiter Pisces. You need a little bit of luck to have that kind of first round, like putts need to fall. Andrea Lee, I think she's destined for a big week. And also Jin Hee Im with the Gemini Sun and Rising, the Aquarius Midheaven, and the Jupiter Pisces as well. Jin Hee Im plus 5,800 to finish the first round. Not bad, not bad. Is there one more I want to add real quick? I mean, Aki EY is always a threat to have a good first round. So, also Lynn Grant, Gemini Sun, and Midheaven. Okay, I'm adding Lynn Grant and Aki EY. I don't have their numbers right here, but I'm just gonna do it. Aki EY. Okay, Andrea Lee, Jin Hee Im, Lynn Grant, Aki EY for the first round. All right. That's LPGA. We're moving on now to the DP World Tour. It's the Kenya Open, I believe. No Patrick Reed this week, thank God. He's been killing it, and probably would have took him this week if he was playing, now that I think about it, but thank God he's not. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 names here with 2 long shots. There's 140-something players. That's still less than 10%. That's usually my cap. So don't go crazy on your units. But these are just the names that really stuck out to me. So let's get into it, all right? First guy, he's the favorite. Angel Iora, plus 1050. Originally, I looked over him, but after kind of going back and looking at his chart, I added him. He's the favorite for a reason. So he's a Libra Sun, Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter. Libra with Pisces isn't bad, but it's not like great. But Aquarius is still in Mars, so there is some sort of there. Also, Libra's opposite Aries. And I talk about opposites a lot. Opposite signs kind of bring out a competitive fuel. It's like a mirror that's like showing them what they're lacking or where they're faltering or like what they have to do to get to the level they want to. And so I think that's a good look. But I like him because he's a Gemini moon. And we talked about Gemini being career, focused this whole month. That's big time. He's got the Leo Venus. There's a career sign in there. That's what we're after. But he's a Sagittarius rising, which again doesn't go great with Pisces, but it does go great with Aries. But his midheaven is Virgo, which is Earth, and Taurus is also Earth. And they're also going to be finishing up Saturday night under the Taurus moon. So I think he has a good chance to win. 10 plus 1050. We'll see. Next guy I wrote down, I don't love, but he's been playing decent. Callum Hill, plus 2,700. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Jupiter. So he's got a ton of water. That's good. Scorpio is opposite Taurus, but Scorpio is also Scorpio and Aries are ruled by Mars. So just because it's not a career, placement doesn't mean it's a bad placement. They're both ruled by the same energy, the same planet. So I do like that. He's a Sagittarius rising and a Virgo midheaven, just like Angel Iora. Libra Mercury, but Leo Mars, that's where I like it. Remember, we're looking for like some sort of career placement in all of these charts. The Taurus moon will light up his Leo Mars on Saturday, so watch out. And also all of the Aries stuff all week will light up his Leo Mars, okay? Next guy I like is Dan Bradbury, plus 3,200. Leo Sun, Mercury, and Midheaven. Capricorn moon, Scorpio rising in Mars, Virgo Venus, Taurus Jupiter. Leo, Cap moon is a little worrying because Cap and Aries don't get along too great, but I think the Leo stuff will get him through it, and he's got some Scorpio in there to vibe with the Aries. Taurus Jupiter, that's some good luck on Saturday, so watch out for Dan Bradbury. Next, 2 guys I really like, both South Africans. Casey Jarvis, plus 3,400. This might be my top play. Leo, Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter. There it is. Cancer, Moon, Rising, and Venus. There it is. Aries, Midheaven, Pisces, Mars. 4 of the 6 signs I mentioned that we're really after this week, it's his whole chart. Watch out for Casey Jarvis at plus 3,400. It's a really good chart. The next guy, JC Ritchie, right below him, plus 3,500. Pisces, Sun, Midheaven, and Venus. It's his time. Leo, Moon, perfect. Taurus, Rising, perfect. Aquarius, Mercury, and Mars. Scorpio, Jupiter. He's really big. Good stuff in that chart, okay? Pisces, Leo, Taurus. So watch out. The next guy is Jorge Campillo at plus 3,900. Gemini Sun, Mercury, and Midheaven. Perfect. It's his career time. Aries Moon. He's going to get his own Aries Moon this week. Virgo Rising's got some Earth for the Taurus. Venus Cancer, more career influence. Capricorn Mars is where I get a little worried. Pisces Jupiter. I like the chart. The Cap Mars is a little worrying, but if he's there on Saturday, I'm not going to be worried about the Cap Mars because it's going to be flowing with the Taurus Moon, fellow Earth sign, okay? Next guy, Jakob Skava-Lesson, the Dane, plus 4,400. Gemini Sun, Mercury, Midheaven, perfect. Scorpio Moon, Leo Rising, Cancer Venus, Libra Mars, Aries Jupiter. Just another really solid chart all around. So watch out for Skava-Lesson. 4 more and 2 long shots. Nathan Kimsey, plus 4,500. Aries Sun, Venus, and Midheaven. Cancer Rising and Mars. Pisces Moon and Mercury, Libra Jupiter. Solid chart. Water, fire, pretty much all of it. I would not be surprised to see him in the mix, okay? Next guy, Todd Clements, plus 6,100. Virgo Sun, Pisces Moon, Scorpio Rising, Leo Midheaven, Cancer Venus and Mars, Capricorn Jupiter. That's a great chart as well. He's got the Earth and the water for that Pisces Taurus finish on Saturday. Leo Midheaven is lit up career-wise by the Taurus Moon. Cancer, Venus, and Mars is lit up all week by the Aries. Todd Clements is a really sneaky play, okay? I also like Freddie Schott, who we lost to a couple weeks ago when I had Patrick Reed. He's plus 6,900. Gemini Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter. Career time, baby. Leo Moon, that's huge. Libra Rising, Cancer Midheaven. Cancer's lit up career-wise by the Aries Moon. Venus and Aries, Mars and Sag. She's got a lot of fire in that chart, a lot of air. So watch out for Freddie Schott, who just won it 2-3 weeks ago. And then I also really like Tapio Pulkkinen, I think that's how you say it, plus 8,200. Gemini Sun and Midheaven, Aries Moon and Venus, Virgo Rising, Taurus Mercury, Pisces Mars, Cancer Jupiter. Again, another solid chart with 3 of the 4 or 5 signs we're after, okay? 2 long shots. Matteo Manassero is plus 12,500. I'm shocked. He must be really playing bad, but again, any week can be anyone's week. That's the whole theory of the show. He's an Aries, Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Venus. Just a ton of Aries in that chart. Leo Rising, Taurus Midheaven, Cancer, Mars, Libra, Jupiter. He's got Cancer, Mars. That's the water we're looking for. He's got the Leo and the Taurus and all the Aries. Dude, plus 12,500 is a crazy number. Yeah, I like that a lot. And then lastly, David Law. Never heard of him, but just looked him up. Plus 17,500. Big number. Taurus Sun, Capricorn Moon, but a Leo Rising and Jupiter. Aries Midheaven and Mercury. Gemini Venus, Cancer Mars. Everything that chart's amazing except that Capricorn Moon, but with everything else in the chart, I think if it's his week, that it would make a ton of sense. So watch out. Okay, top 5, one pick. Angel Iora plus 235. I think that's a safe play, but top 5 is only 5 guys, so watch out. Top 10, Casey Jarvis at plus 310. Love that. And Nathan Kimsey at plus 365. Also love that. Top 20, Jakob Skava-Lesson plus 182. Tapio Pulkkinen plus 280. And Matteo Manassero plus 325. I don't know why Matteo is that high of a number, but I think I could see him at least finishing in the top 20 with that chart. First round leader, I got 5 guys. I'm going Tapio Pulkkinen at plus 7,200 because he's got, again, these are Pisces, Sun, Moon, Wednesday. He's just got the Gemini Sun and Midheaven that I really like, and the Pisces Mars. Plus, I think he's destined for a good week, and I think a good start is kind of going to hint at that. And then I also like Jakob Skava-Lesson at plus 6,100 in the first round. Again, Gemini stuff, Scorpio stuff, Cancer stuff. That's what we're looking for the first day with all the water in the sky. Jorge Campillo plus 5,400 also has the water, not the water. Does he have water? He's got the Gemini, and he's got a Venus Cancer and a Pisces Jupiter. So that's good. Needs a little luck. And then JC Ritchie at plus 5,000. He's got the Pisces Sun, Midheaven, and Venus we talked about. So that's big time for JC Ritchie. in the first round. And then lastly, I'm going to go Freddie Shot, plus 7,400 in the first round, because he's got the Gemini in the Cancer midheaven. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, and then I got 2 double chance bets, meaning this guy or this guy wins. Callum Hill or Casey Jarvis at plus 1,500. That's pretty good. And then Casey Jarvis or JC Ritchie at plus 1,700. I really like that one. Watch out. Triple chance. Dan Bradbury, JC Ritchie, or Jakob Skavalessen, plus 1,200. Why not? We'll see. Top UK/Ireland, I'm going Dan Bradbury at plus 680. It's a little risky, but we'll see. Top rest of the world, I'm going to go both JC Ritchie and Casey Jarvis because they're both 10 plus 1050. So if either of them wins, that's a big hit. All right. And then top Danish, Jakob Skavalessen at plus 154. Nicholas Norgard-Molaire is like a ton of Gemini in his chart. It's a risky one. I don't think he's going to win. I don't think Molaire is going to win because there's no other career placement in there for the Aries and the Taurus, but whatever. I like Skavalessen, top Dane, plus 154. And then top German, Freddie Schott, plus 245. And top Italian, Matteo Manacero, plus 530. That's a good number. All right. Now that we've gone through those tournaments, let's get to the main tournament, the Genesis Invitational, okay? Now, I talked about Geminis. I've talked about Cancers this week. Well, when it comes to Scottie Scheffler, I won't take Scottie unless he's got at least 1, but really 2 career signs in the sky. And he's got 2 this week. Also, he won the Amex a month ago under the literal, pretty much exact same moon transit, which was like, it was like Pisces, Aries to Taurus, I believe, that he won. And I didn't think he was going to win the first tournament of his year in a birdie fest, the Amex, so I just ignored it. Obviously, he won. And then ever since, I have not taken him because I just was convinced he wasn't going to win any of these tournaments, and he hasn't. But it's been a few weeks now since he's won, so that usually means Scotty's on the lurk. He's also never won this tournament, so I feel like he wants it. But what's his number right now? Because the last time I checked, it was 320. Oh, now it's 315. Oh, well, so let's call it 315. But he's plus 315. He's a Cancer's sun, which I talked about. Aries moon is going to light up Cancer's career sector. He's a Virgo moon and rising, which is opposite Pisces. I mean, that's a really good kind of competitive fuel. But also the Taurus moon on Sunday and Saturday afternoon will light up his Virgo stuff. But his midheaven, Mercury, Venus, and Mars are all Gemini. Gemini under Pisces, it's their career time. There's still a little bit of air in the sky, Mars and Aquarius, which vibes with Gemini. His Jupiter is Capricorn, which is Earth. So on Sunday, it's a fellow Earth sign. I don't think Scotty's going to lose this week. I'm going to go Scottie Scheffler at plus 315. I'm going to hammer it because if you're betting Scotty, you have to just go big. So that being said, I think Scottie Scheffler is going to win this tournament. I don't know if it's going to be close. I don't know if he's going to run away with it. I just think he's got enough fuel in there because I think the reason why he's played bad, not bad, but like he hasn't won the last few weeks is because he had bad starts. And then he caught up and he always was like 1 or 2 strokes behind the leader at the end of it. Okay. This is the tournament where I think he fixes his bad starts and he's just going to come out hot. And that plus 315 is just going to get lower and lower and lower after round 1. So I don't want to miss out. I think Scotty's going to win this tournament. Yeah. So the winner without Scotty market is where I'm going to talk about next. But, you know, it's tough, dude. There's a lot of good placements in the charts this week. And I wrote a ton of names down and I left off a ton of names because I just, you have to keep it limited for units and stuff. I'm not going to go crazy in the without Scotty market this week, but if you guys want to, go for it. But I'm going to mention some names. I'm going to mention some names I left off that I won't be surprised if they play really well. And yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so Scotty to win. And in the without market, Rory McIlroy plus 1075 has a really, really good chart. And I think he also wants to win this one. And if he beats Scotty, you know what? I won't be surprised. But at least we'll have a little something on him. He's a Taurus, Sun, Venus in midheaven. That's where the moon's going to be on Sunday. He's a Leo rising, fire. Aries moon, that's his moon sign. Gemini, Mercury, and Jupiter, Cancer, Mars. He's got Gemini in his chart. He's got Cancer in his chart. It's really all of his signs are what we're after this week. So I think he was a little disappointed with his performance last week. So I think he's going to come out and he's going to have bigger motivation this week. So watch out for Rory in the without Scotty market. The next guy I like is Patrick Cantlay, plus 2,200 in the without market. Pisces, Sun, and Venus. It's his birth month. Virgo, Moon, and Jupiter. Cancer rising, Aries, midheaven, and Mercury. And then Mars, Aquarius, which is where Mars still is currently. I think Cantlay is going to have a good week, you guys. Especially with that Aries midheaven of his. So the Taurus stuff may be where he falls off, but he is an earth, water mainly kind of guy. So that's where the finishing Sunday transits are going to be, earth and water, okay? I also really like Jake Knapp, plus 2,900. Jake's been playing great. I think he's been in top 10 every tournament he's played so far this year. Gemini Sun, Pisces Moon. So Gemini Sun is, again, it's his career time. He's going to play even better now. Leo rising, Taurus, midheaven, and Mars. He's got the Taurus and the Leo. He's got Cancer, Mercury, and Venus, guys. Scorpio, Jupiter. There's no reason why Jake Knapp won't be in the mix this week again. Like, I truly believe that. He's also from Costa Mesa, I want to say. So he's an LA guy, and that, you know, there's something about being in your hometown, you know. Watch out for Jake Knapp. I'm also going to go on to Sam Burns, plus 2,900. Leo, Sun, and Mercury, and he's been playing great. Leo, Sun, and Mercury, Scorpio Moon, water, Libra rising, Cancer midheaven. That's what I really like. Cancer's, again, big time career boost this week. Then he's got Gemini, Venus, and Mars, so he's got some Gemini in there, lit up by the Pisces, and a Capricorn, Jupiter. Is another guy I won't be surprised if he's in the mix. It's just a lot of good charts this week, you guys. It's tough. Also really like Matt Fitzpatrick, plus 3,000. He's been trending. Virgo, Sun, and Mercury, Cancer, Moon, and Mars. Similar to Scotty, I guess, in a way. But he's a Scorpio rising in Jupiter, and he's Leo midheaven. That's what we're after, Libra, Venus. So watch out for Fitzpatrick. I don't know what else to say. Guys, I left off so many names. And I'll mention everybody I left off once I'm done with the guys I do like. Next guy, this was a tough ad, but it's Harris English, plus 3,000. He can get hot. He's a Leo Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. And he's an Aries moon, so he's got so much fire in that chart. But he does have a Libra rising and a Cancer midheaven, a little bit of water, and a Gemini Jupiter, which all month long is a boost of luck. I think he's gonna play good, you guys. Like, again, with all that Leo in his chart lit up by that Taurus moon on Sunday, if he's there, watch out for Harris English. Like, seriously. And then 3 more guys, which, again, there's only like 70 guys in this field. I think I'm naming like 8 or 9 of them, so apologies, but it's so hard. This is why I missed out on calling, because I overthought a lot of things, and I feel like I'm doing it again, but I feel like I'm trusting my gut a little more this week, okay? Victor Hovland is another guy with a great chart, plus 3,400 in the without Scotty market. Virgo, Sun, and Mercury. Scorpio rising, Venus, and Mars, so he's got the water-earth combo. Aries moon, it's his own Aries moon, and then he's the Leo midheaven and an Aquarius Jupiter. Vic might have a really solid week, you guys. And then I hate this, but I added Adam Scott, plus 4,000, because he's a Cancer, Sun, and Mercury. He's a Virgo, Moon, and Jupiter. It's, again, Cancer, Virgo combo like Scotty. Scorpio rising, Leo midheaven. That's like the 3rd or 4th guy with the Scorpio rising, Leo midheaven combination. Venus and Gemini, so he's got the career house all month long. Libra, Mars, which syncs up with the Mars Aquarius. And he just plays well on these types of courses. I was listening to some other podcasts. I just feel like Adam Scott's going to kind of come out of nowhere and say, what's up? What's up, world? I'm here. And then the last guy I like is JT Poston, plus 6,500. Gemini, Sun, and Mercury. Scorpio moon, so he's got the water and the Gemini. Then he's a Leo rising in Mars, got the fire, Taurus midheaven, that's where the moon's going to be on Sunday. Aries Venus to get through the Aries moon. Libra Jupiter, I think JT Poston also is a guy that's going to pop up this week, okay? And then two longer shots. Patrick Rogers has been playing really well at plus 9,600. Cancer Sun, Moon, and Venus. Virgo rising in Jupiter. Again, Cancer Virgo combination, just like Fitzy, just like Scott, just like Scotty. He's a Gemini midheaven. Leo Mercury, Taurus Mars. He's got the signs we're going for, you guys. Played really well last week. I just think he's going to keep playing great. And then Nico Echeverria plus 15,500. That's a longer shot. You know, you can spread your units out a little bit more on these guys because the payouts are way bigger. But he's a Leo Sun, Midheaven, and Mercury. He's a Cancer Moon, Scorpio rising in Jupiter, Virgo Venus, Gemini Mars. They got the Leo, got the Gemini, got the Cancer. That's all I really saw. I was like, yep. So it's a lot of names. But listen to who I left off. I left off Cam Young, who has a lot of Taurus in his chart. He's got a Mercury Aries, and a Gemini Moon. It doesn't have the Leo, and that's what I wanted. I left off Robert McIntyre, who does have the Leo and the Cancer and a Gemini Venus, and I won't be surprised if Bobby Mack pops off. But he just hasn't been playing that great, and that's why I think I left him off. Justin Rose is another guy I left off with all the Leo, Sun, Midheaven. He just won under his full moon in Leo 2 or 3 weeks ago. God, I'd be so mad if he wins, but I could see him playing well. Minwoo is coming off a great week. Minwoo Lee, he's a Leo Sun, Midheaven, and Mercury, Cancer, Venus, and Mars. Like, dude, there's so many guys that I just barely left off, and I feel like I'm going to regret some of this. But Sepp Straka, also Taurus, Virgo, Leo in his chart with Aries in his chart. He just doesn't have any water. I think that's why I left Sepp off. JJ Spawn's another one who obviously hasn't been playing that great, but he could pop off anytime with all the Leo, Sun, Midheaven, Jupiter, and Venus of his. He's got Taurus, Mars. Oh, God, I'm going to be upset if JJ Spawn plays well and I didn't take him. Ryan Gerard, another guy I left off. Leo, Sun, Aries, Moon, Taurus, Rising, Jupiter, Capricorn, Midheaven, Virgo, Venus. I'm not going to be surprised if any of these guys play well. I'm just not. Nick Taylor also, plus 5,800. I left off. Aries, Sun, Midheaven, and Mercury, Cancer, Rising, Taurus, Moon, and Jupiter. Gemini, Venus. He's got the signs for after. Oh, so this is my dilemma every week. It's just from a betting perspective, you can't just take everybody, otherwise you're not going to win anything. But that's why live betting is always there. If any of these guys pop off, maybe I'll throw something on them just to kind of help salvage the losses or something. But, and then I also, for the long shots, I left off Garrick Higo with the Taurus in his chart, Aries, Leo in his chart, and also Kevin Yu with a ton of Leo, Aries, Cancer, Scorpio in his chart. I left those guys off. But real quick, without Scotty Market, because I think Scotty's going to win, which is kind of you could just single bullet Scotty and just go up, just see what happens. But without Scotty, I like Rory, I like Cantlay, I like Knapp, Burns, Fitzpatrick, English, Hovland, Adam Scott, JT Poston. And the long shots were Rogers and Echeverria. But I don't know. I just think Scotty's got it on lock this week. So let's talk about placements real quick, and then we'll get out of here because we're already going longer than I wanted. Top 5, Rory, plus 245, great number. I think he's there. I think that's a safe pick. And then if you want to get a little spicy, you can parlay Scotty and Rory to finish in the top 5 at plus 484. I did both. Top 10, Jake Knapp, plus 250. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's killing it. He's had a ton of top 10 finishes, but I think he actually legitimately has a chance to win this week, okay? Also, Sam Burns, plus 250 as well. I really like both of those guys. Talked about them already. Top 20, I like JT Poston, plus 205. I think he's going to be a sneaky play this week, especially for DFS. And then the two longer shots, because the top 20 in a 70-man whatever field is the numbers suck, so you have to go a little longer. I'm going Patrick Rogers at plus 235. I'm going to go Nico Echeverria at plus 315 to finish in the top 20, okay? And then top 30, I doubt this hits. We'll see. It really depends on spawn, but it's a 5-man parlay, all to finish in the top 30, okay? So proceed with caution, but I like Scotty, Rory, Cantlay, English, and JJ Spawn, all to finish in the top 30 at plus 548. I feel like the number should be a little higher, but it's top 30, and you got, 5 of the, so it's like 1/6 of the top 30 right there. So we'll see. All right, let's talk about first round leader. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys. Okay, I always say this, full disclosure, don't go crazy on first round leader. This is the single hardest bet to hit in golf, in my opinion. One round, right? Day one round. This is really tough. But we're going to go Scotty, plus 1075. That's the highest number you're going to find him this week. Actually, there is a higher number. I'll get to that in a second. But if it's Scotty's week, he's going to come out hot. And you don't want to miss out on a number like that if Scotty's going to have a really good first round, okay? Plus 1075, Scotty Scheffler, first round leader. Next guy is Patrick Cantlay at plus 3,200. He's got the Aries midheaven. That's what we're really after, midheavens on Thursday. There's a lot of more Aries midheavens I'm going to mention right now. Russell Henley, who I've not talked about, plus 3,600, who could very well be in the mix as well, but I just don't see him winning. But he's an Aries sun, Venus in midheaven, and he's a Cancer moon and rising. So he's basically fire and water. That's what we're going to be having to start off on Thursday, pretty much halfway through the day or the round, around 11:30 a.m. Taurus, Mercury, Gemini, Mars, and Jupiter. She's got some Gemini in there. Plus 3,600. Henley, Aries in general like to start off hot, and if it's their own Aries moon, they're just fueled even more. So someone with some Aries or Cancer in their chart, I think, will be the first round leader. And he's got both. So Russell Henley in the first round at plus 3,600 is a good play. Also like Minwoo Lee at plus 3,800, who I just mentioned briefly. He's got a lot of Cancer in his chart with some Leo in there. That's why I like him to vibe off the Aries moon on Thursday. Next guy, Denny McCarthy. This is a little risky, plus 7,200. Great putter. Pisces, Sun, and Mercury. It's his season. Cancer, rising moon, and Mars. Lit up career-wise by the Aries moon. And then he's an Aries midheaven Venus and a Libra Jupiter. Man, he's a great chart. And not that I think he's going to win it, but I could see Denny coming out having a solid first round. And also, not that I do this, but if you want to take in these guys in the finish in the top 10 after round 1 or finish in the top 5 after round 1, those are great bets too. I just don't really spend time to go into that. But these are just guys who I think will have solid first rounds, and you do what you want with that. Put them all in a DFS lineup, whatever. Next guy, Bud Cauley, plus 8,600. Pisces, Sun, and Mercury, Cancer, rising, and Jupiter, Aries, midheaven, Aquarius, Venus, and Mars. So that's kind of why I like that for Bud Cauley. Okay, sorry, I gotta move a little quicker here. We're taking time. Daniel Berger is my next first round leader at plus 7,400. Aries, Sun, Venus, and midheaven, Scorpio, Moon, Cancer, rising, and Mars, Pisces, Mercury, Libra, midheaven. Just another Aries midheaven guy. Patrick Rogers, plus 6,600, first round leader. He's got a ton of the Cancer in there. Does he have Aries in his chart? I don't think he does. No, but he's got the Gemini midheaven, Cancer moon stuff, and he's got a Leo Mercury, so he's got a little fire in there. And then lastly, Aaron Rai, plus 8,000. Or I forget, it was like 8,000 something. I didn't write down the exact number, but he's a Pisces Sun, Cancer rising, Aries moon, and midheaven. Aquarius, Mercury, and Venus, Leo, Mars, Sagittarius, Jupiter. It's a great chart. He's also a Pisces Sun. It's his birth month. He might have some vitality, invigorated in him. So we'll see. All right. So first round leader, Scotty, Cantlay, Henley, Minwoo Lee, Denny McCarthy, Bud Cauley, Berger, Patrick Rogers, Aaron Rai. That being said, there's a ton of guys I left off who could easily be the first round leader. Cancer and Aries are kind of what I'm looking for then. Okay. Let's get into the fun bets, and then we'll get out of here. All right, double chance. Scotty or Rory to win it, plus 235. It's kind of a no-brainer to me. I think they're going to finish 1 and 2, or vice versa. That's just me. Top English, I'm going to go Justin Rose, plus 320. He just has that Leo in his chart. It's a lot of Gemini. It's his career time, and he's a Pisces moon. All right. Storage issues again. Okay, hopefully I've stitched this together in the end. I'm going to finish this up real quick. I was literally just had a few more picks. Okay. Top rest of the world, Minwoo Lee at plus 670. He just has a ton of Leo in his chart and some Cancer. I think he's going to play well after having a great week last week. Top Asian, this is a risky one. Kevin Yu at plus 850. I briefly mentioned him. I left him off my outrights list, but he's got a ton of Leo, Aries, Scorpio, Cancer in his chart. I just think it's a good look. And then Victor Hovland to be a plus 260 to be the top continental European. He's one of our without Scotty picks this week. I already talked about him. Top Oceania. I'm also going to go Minwoo Lee at plus 176. Although I think Adam Scott might have a say about that one. And then this is the fun bet of the week. This is the highest number you're going to get Scotty. Scotty Scheffler to win wire to wire. Plus 1,900. Meaning he's going to be in the lead from day one and he's going to finish it off. I think there's a chance that happens, okay? So, all that being said, that's the show. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can always hit me up at starsandparspodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up with questions or guys I didn't talk about or further explanation into whoever. Like I said, find me on TikTok, Stars and Pars. Find me on YouTube. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Spotify, follow me there. 5-star ratings are welcome. Thank you very much if you already done that. But yeah, I feel good about this week. We're going to get back on the winning track. Yeah, that's the show. Hope everybody has a good week. Best of luck. Let's get some winners, and we will see y'all next week. Take care. Bye.